Yes, apparently that is the box the FlightScope Mevo launch monitor comes in. It's got to be some sort of joke. That is absolutely minute. The iPhone box is bigger than that. Is there a launch monitor in there? Is this some sort of voodoo or something? Let's have a look. Well, there's a user manual. Useful. I'd certainly recommend having a good look through that, having used launch monitors in the past. It's very important that you set these things up correctly. If not, you're not going to get your accurate data, so spend a bit of time with that. What's this? We've got a Be Better Performance Starts Here card. Looks like FlightScope thanking you for your purchase. You're welcome. Metallic stickers. Yes, you need these if you're going to use this little unit indoors, just to make sure that you're getting accurate spin readings, then subsequently distance. They're quite essential. Wow. Now, as I was expecting something small, I wasn't expecting something quite that small. It looks like a bicycle repair kit. It's absolutely tiny. They've managed to fit a charging port on the side there, so must be some. Oh, it's equally as small, and it looks unusable. That's short. We'll test that later on. Power button. What's this? We have what looks like a tripod fixture. I think that'll be for the baseball functionality of this little machine. So yeah, really small. It's got a little stand on it. Yeah, so it will stand up. I just can't get over how small that is. Just to give you some perspective on that, that's my iPhone. That's not a Plus. That's a standard iPhone 6. Yeah. Can this thing actually work? Let's take it to the golf course and find out. So we live in an age where everything's getting smaller and lighter. Chocolate bars, laptops, cars even, but launch monitors? Can they get any smaller than this? I was sold this as an well, this is the X2 from FlightScope. I was sold this based on it being ultra portable, and it is. It's not particularly heavy, you can carry it around with you. But FlightScope claimed that this thing, the FlightScope Mevo, can do the same job as that one. Can that happen? Let's test it. So we've hit some test shots both with the Mevo here and his bigger cousin the X2, my current launch monitor. It's not just the size of the units that's different, it's the distance that you need to be away from the golf ball. Now with my current X2 you've got to have at least 10 feet behind you, and ideally some like 8 to 10 feet for indoor use in front of you. Little Mevo here only needs 4 feet behind it, so that's not really very much at all. So if you're using this in a garage or at home in a room, if you've got a house that's really big, or even at the driving range where there's often walls behind you, this is going to be so usable. So well done FlightScope for that, really good feature. I still have my concerns as to whether it's going to be as accurate as my £10,000 unit, and this is, like I say, £400 or £500, but let's see if they are. Let's look at some of the data. So just before we go into the actual comparative data between the little Mevo and its big cousin the X2, I'd just like you to see the Mevo app, which I think is fantastic. It comes free on the iTunes store, and I believe it'll be coming to Android very soon as well. Now, I've got a little home screen here where we can see the different sessions that we've had in the past, so it's almost like a little calendar that you can access from your home screen. And we're just going to pop into the shots that we hit to compare these two units. Now you've got a little dashboard or a home screen
for the data here, where you've got each data parameter in kind of box form. We've also got a trajectory view, which I think is pretty neat. It gives you the trajectory for each shot that you've hit in the session and with each club. And it also gives you the data parameters for each shot, and you can kind of scroll through each shot that you've hit in that session. And it's going to give you the data for each shot. Fantastic little option there. And then we've got the kind of more traditional table view, where it's going to give you the data for each shot that you've hit. And we can go into here and change which club we want to look at. So we can look at them independently if we want to do that. It's fantastic. You can go back to all clubs. You can also share this if you wanted to share it with somebody. You can send emails, etc. So great, lovely little easy to use app. Nothing buggy about it or anything like that. Seems to work perfectly fine. Also got your options menu here, where you've got different options to put the Mevo in different settings. Where we've got the chipping setting, if you're going to be hitting shots that are 20 yards or less. We've got the indoor setting, if you're hitting indoors, the ball flight's going to be less than 40 yards. And then we've got the outdoor mode for you guys that are going to be using it down at the driving range or on the practice ground. There's loads of different options in here. You can choose how far away the Mevo is from you. Recommended is 4 feet. And you can entertain yourself for hours going through all these options. But again, very, very simple to use. Nothing overly complicated. All in all, I think the app is fantastic. So now let's compare the data between the two units. But before we do so, I'm just going to show you something else that's pretty neat with the Mevo app. If I just slide across in the home screen, it's going to allow me to enter my FlightScope.com. That's where all the data from pretty much every FlightScope unit goes to. It also does it with the Mevo. So I can go into my online database here, select Mevo, and it brings up the sessions that I've had with the little fella. So we're just going to go to the pitching wedge first, and we're just going to look at the data between the two units. The first thing that we'll look at, we'll actually look at ball speed. Mevo's got 106 here for the ball speed, and the X2 has 109, so pretty much 110, so a little bit more there with the X2, but that's certainly within human tolerance. We've got the club speed, which was 88 miles an hour, and with the X2, club speed is down there at 87.3, so pretty close with that number. Got a smash number of 1.21, got 1.26 here with the X2. Got carrying yards 140 with the Mevo, 146, kind of 147 with the X2. Got a launch angle of 26.4, and with the X2, the launch angle is 26.3. So again, very, very close with those numbers. Got a spin rate 7,887. And with the X2, that spin rate is, where are we? 7,694. So again, very, very close with those numbers. Got a height of 114. That's in feet. And with the X2, we've got 121 feet. So again, very, very close. Time 6.4 seconds on the Mevo. And the time with the X2, 6.6. So again, very, very close. Let's now move on to the 7-iron. And again, let's have a look. Ball speed 127.8 in the Mevo. And we've got a ball speed of 129.6 with the X2. Got a club speed of 93.6 with Mevo, 93.5 with the X2. Smash 1.37. 1.39 with the X2, got 189 yards in carry, got 191 with the X2. That's a lot of numbers, isn't it? Got a launch angle of 18.1 with the Mevo, and we've got a launch angle of 17.5 with the X2. Got a spin rate of 5,800 with the Mevo, got a spin rate of 6,294 with the X2. Got height again, and maybe we won't go through the height and the time, those two things are very, very close together. So thus far, very, very impressive. Now let's have a look at the driver and see if there's any discrepancies or differences between the two. So I've got a ball speed of 161, a ball speed here of 163, very close again. I've got the club speed 118 with the Mevo, 112 with the X2. Now, FlightScope are aware of this. There's a smallest, tiniest little glitch with the Mevo at the moment, which I'm sure will be amended at some point in the near future. Once the club speed kind of gets above 100 miles an hour, it just tends to pop another couple of extra miles an hour on. But if you're swing speed then, it might not be a bad thing. I've got a smash number which will be affected, so we won't talk about that. Smash kind of is a ratio between club speed and ball speed, but the club speed's slightly out. It's going to give you a bit of a misread on the smash. I've got a carry of 275 with the Mevo. I've got a carry of 273 with the X2. I've got a launch of 12.7. We've got a launch of 10.3. There was a couple of shots in there that I did hit quite low with the X2. Got a spin rate of 2,600 with the Mevo, 2.5 with the X2, and height and time again quite similar. So all in all, very, very impressed with that. Bearing in mind my current unit is worth £10,000, the Mevo's in around the £400–500 mark. These numbers are very, very close.
So this was almost a review of kind of David versus Goliath of the launch monitor world. This big thing, which used to be small, now with this thing, which is teeny tiny and makes this look like some sort of behemoth. The numbers, as you can see, pretty darn close really, well within human error. The shots that I hit weren't the same shots for each launch monitor. I had to do them separately because there's interference between each radar. But as you can see, the numbers are very, very close. There's only one that's slightly out. Now that's club head speed. FlightScope are onto that. It's only maybe 3 or 4 miles an hour out. But they've got a fix coming up for that very, very shortly. Hope you enjoyed today's review. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Press that red button down there to subscribe to the channel. More reviews coming soon and some more instruction. Hello. Hello. All the unit needs to be 4 feet with the Mevo. Move.